I'll be monitoring it.
Will you?
Yeah, I have my cell phone out, I think. I say that.
Messing with the cables over here, I tell you.
Probably, David. So I noticed he messed with both my sound booths. He cleaned them, but he messed with them. He always moves. That's how you can tell where he's going, where he cleans. He moves stuff around.
There we go.
All right, it's all set up.
It's changed.
Oh, it did change. It updated. It actually looks kind of nice. I like it.
Even though I'm not a fan of the beach, yeah, it's cool. No signal, is it on? The TV said HDMI 2. No signal, is it on?
Yeah, it's on. See, it's up there. You just have to be patient. Thank you. It'd be a sparse crowd today. Probably.
What happened?
I don't know, but my wife's gonna shoot me.
Uh-oh. We can only hope that she does.
Get out here. Boom, get over there on the other side. I don't even want you over here
I'm right there.
making that kind of comment. Now, you know, if Sharon shows up, you're gonna have to leave.
Okay.
Her name's on the back of that chair, did you know that?
How come I can't get that to go where I want it to?
Joseph, sit down.
I gotta mess with you, James.
Well, I'm gonna mess right back.
I know.
Told Zoe to forgive me because I was picking on her. I was fixing to leave the kitchen. I said, you want me to turn this light off? Because I'm always leaving it on. She said, no, you might leave it on this time. But, you know.
I don't mess with you in a mean way. I gotta mess with you
Oh, I know.
in a nice way.
You're just a troublemaker. You know, this is the first time I've put this shirt on and now I've got something on it.
Uh-oh.
It's broken in now.
I
No big
think-
deal.
I think it's just fuzz embedded in there, but who knows? Yeah, Pamela let me out a few weeks ago to go buy me some clothes. Usually she helps me pick out my colors. Or else I'll send her a picture and say, is this all right?
Will this work?
Yeah. And she wasn't up this morning to tell me about it.
We've got 15 minutes and then it's going to start broadcasting.
Yay. So what's the Mexican word of today?
It's
Oh, you stumped me now.
no, I've got it. It's
He hadn't woke up yet today,
I see that.
like the rest of us. We haven't woke up yet today.
tissue. It's tissue.
Tissue.
You don't know how with tissue.
He's a lot like Jeff Foxworthy.
But
He comes up
judo was my favorite one. That's the word, judo.
You know,
You don't know it's got a knife. You don't know it's got a gun. You don't know to mess with him. Man.
is the coffee all right?
It's muy excelente.
No, okay. You may have told me. You got some more coffee coming, right?
Nah, I don't mess with that. Brenda takes care of it.
Well, does she know we had an accident with it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Foxworthy has
Hey, there's
like
a
the
man.
redneck word of the day.
I got a deal I couldn't try to find. I was gonna send you, but I couldn't find it.
Like
Can't
sensuous.
Oh, you missed a setting?
The guy said, said to his
oh,
wife,
yeah.
since you was up, get me a beer.
So you haven't been able to hear us talking over here? You've just been watching us?
Oh, I was wrong. It was audio. Huh. It's the wrong audio.
They look just alike.
You know they had pilots in the cavalry?
They did.
Yeah, they had a pilot here and a
Pilot there, yeah. Their vehicles. It's like the two guys
I have to remember that.
that worked at the sawmill got laid off, and one was a woodcutter and the other one was a pilot. They went and got a job at the airport, you know, at the airline. The guy that was a woodcutter, he was janitor, and the guy that was a pilot, he was flying the plane.
You know, good engineers do not grow on trees.
Good engineers,
Yeah, they don't grow on trees.
they don't.
No. Spend a lot of time swinging them though.
Sounds about right.
Oh, Brother Darrell.
It's like
Deborah, good morning.
Hello, Miss Deborah.
How are you?
a beer that doesn't have any.
Yeah.
Tired, but
No idea.
No idea.
not as tired as I normally am.
Oh, well, that's good.
Is Uncle Daryl gonna be here?
Yeah,
No, he's outside, I'm watching.
James, did you say you don't like
Calf
cinnamon?
with no legs.
Cinnamon?
Do you not like cinnamon?
Oh, no.
Cat with no legs?
Calf or
Good.
steer with no legs. Or
Oh,
calf.
no, cinnamon's good. Okay.
Ground
No,
meat.
it's not that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was there, how do you call a cow
There
with
you
no
go.
legs? Ground beef.
sorry.
Oh, I've never seen those before.
I thought about, Daryl, and I thought about you when we
Oh, thank you, Deborah.
tried to keep, well, you're
What
on
are
screen.
Sweet for the sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
sweet, sweet.
Cinnamon's.
Like we don't already have cinnamon otherwise. Aren't there some other candies in the drawer though?
I'm
Should
not
be.
sure.
If they're not, we need to
Oh, you better move, dude.
go yellow ones.
There's some Jolly Ranchers and some more cinnamon.
Well, I don't think we have any Jolly Ranchers on the table though, do we?
They're probably underneath.
Cinnamon Jolly Ranchers.
There comes Brother.
Oh, there's cinnamon Jolly Ranchers. But we got other flavors of some of them. We don't have to stick with the cinnamon, since you don't care
I'm
for
playing
cinnamon.
with cameras.
You are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that cinnamon? It's not.
Cinnamon.
Oh, cinnamon fire, okay, well, I bet we don't have the assorted ones with, sorry. Brenda's crazy about cinnamon.
Brother Darrell, good morning. Hope you got coffee.
We do.
Sure. Best in the
If
land.
there ain't coffee in here, this ain't gonna go well.
Especially this early.
Y'all about to have a bad day.
Even the non-drinkers are probably drinking it.
I should've wore my other shirt.
I would
What's
prefer
your other
tea.
shirt?
I got a shirt that says I drink coffee that others may live.
Sharon, she'll
That
wait.
others may live.
You're not in
It's a-
danger there, I don't.
That others may live take off of,
I've been whipped
I
before.
wanna say
Here, take that.
the Coast Guard rescue swimmers.
Leave mine down
Either
there.
them or the
I got one.
Oh, you got one.
I
PJs.
got one, thanks. My cookies and coke in
You know what PJs are?
I just put them over here.
PJs are high-speed paramedics at the airport.
Step on them anyway.
I know, what kind of person you are.
They have to go through a
They call them parajumpers.
pair of
You gonna be
jumpers.
here in time for church?
I'm gonna try to be.
Okay.
You'll see an E3 with halo wings, and you're like,
Yep.
why? How did you get that? Your Air Force? Is it what?
You know, right after here, you just go right to church.
Yeah, I probably saved you a beating.
Why?
Sheriff's coming in the door.
No. I've been beaten before.
She's
so-
been known to sit over on this side.
I know, but I'm gonna give him.
Sharon.
The door wasn't open. I had some chicken in the crock pot out.
And we are giving each other a hard time right now.
You
Well,
brought in,
that's
it
why
was
we
still
come in
locked.
and
Were you behind us when we came in? Cause we brought in pizza and pie.
Yeah, but I parked down there.
Way over there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's in my spot. He's in my
Ah, man, I
he's
tell
in
you
my
what.
he's in my drop off stuff in the
Kitchens.
Guy parks there one time and he takes ownership.
I parked there
Hey,
one way.
Baptist church, you know,
I
we
came,
all
I saw,
got
I
our name
conquered.
on these chairs, just not everybody can sit.
Yeah.
Do you know the code on that door?
I'm
You
wearing
told me,
glasses
but I don't
and I
remember.
can't see Sharon's name on that.
Well, it's your, if you have a password, it's 1050 in the arrow. There's an arrow down in the lower
See.
left corner.
I
That's
thought
right.
that was a check.
A
Is
check.
that some kind of a
A check.
CB code? 1050? What's a 1050 in CB code? It's
I
gotta be
don't know.
something, you know,
See,
like
that's where I'm kind of.
I know,
raccoons in the road, or I got.
what
a
is it,
disaster.
is it 1020? What's your location?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were on vacation one time down by College Station, we're staying in a motel on I-35. And we'd gone in my brother's van, and he had a CB radio on it. And my oldest son, he was about 6 or 7, and he didn't think the CB radio worked, which it didn't work very well. But anyway, he had it, and he had a trash sack hanging on the radio knob that had all the CB codes on the front of it.
Oh,
And one was,
it's
but it was not, it was police needed at this location. It was like 1010 or something like that. And he gets up and turns on the radio and says, and he starts doing his CB talk, and he's saying 1020 motel so and so with this location. And the deal came on and says, somebody comes on and says, police headed your way. Man, he hung up that deal and turned the radio off, sat down in the seat and didn't say another word.
Hey,
Well, I guess-
Mr. Doyle,
I guess
oh, you
10.
can make it.
I guess
Hey,
1040.
good morning.
means-
Morning. They got coffee over there.
I said I guess
How about
1040
that?
means pay your taxes.
How are you? Good, good. How you doing?
Good, all right.
Did you see Sharon out there?
Mm-hmm.
She moseying in?
Oh, it's Paul. Oh, here she comes.
Just push on that little gray button in the back there. Yep.
Oh,
The
okay.
cups aren't hard enough usually to push it.
It worked.
It worked.
Oh.
So how?
I got into
how
a
are y'all?
discussion, was trying to explain to somebody what spying out our freedom was.
Spying out our freedom.
Mhm.
What did you, how do you explain it?
Yeah, they're pushing them.
Well, I explained what I thought was the facts. I mean,
Like,
the
if you don't
people
take
that
it,
were there
you're not
were
allowed
trying
in
to force
certain
them to
areas.
become proselytes first, and they had tons
Mr.
of rules
Westbrook.
on top of the rules.
So requested that you come over there and turn the air conditioner on
Oh,
in
okay.
the,
Yeah, I turned it on in the
function hall.
kitchen, but I didn't turn it on.
yeah, she said it's on in the kitchen.
There was something like 600 rules on top of Sabbath or what was work, and they couldn't even go poop.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What's in the Talmud?
Yeah.
So, so anyways, I was explaining all that, and I'm like, so that's the free,
That was the tradition.
they were free from all these things that didn't apply. They were free. And then they're free from the law of sin and death.
Hi.
I read my coffee for
You know, you can start.
No, I
start
won't
following
look at it
once
that
you
way.
know
Thank
you're not
you.
wasting your time because you're already dead. So,
Me.
I need something
What's
I
up?
need something to, I need to borrow your milk.
Okay. Come on over. I'll dust it off.
Got a little
Huh?
I just, no, I'm not saying move it, I just, that stuff makes
What you gonna make?
Yeah.
a nice noise.
Pistol, rifle?
I got that
I don't know.
when I got this, I had to have a new bag, and
I had an
Everybody
extra,
at the
I had
office
an extra barrel.
thinks it's
I traded it
effeminate.
for a lower. I don't
It is
need
not.
Well, I didn't say that it was. I just said
Put a
they.
rose or something on it or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rose. It's a soft briefcase, is what it is.
So
But
you're gonna do this-
Deborah could probably paint on it and make it more
I
feminine.
was kind of wanting her to do like my portrait on there.
Okay, that's a
So
little much,
whoever's
but,
done it for
Statue.
you, they done
Yeah,
right
a statuesque
with
Mill.
rendition.
so I
Like
just,
David. And it's
I
on
just
the-
assumed you got it so that when you spilled something, it would clean up
the
nicely.
You got your next slide over there.
Just put
Thank you.
Well, this has got a
PSI,
jig
or
too.
PSA or whatever it is on it.
PSA.
PSA.
Oh, okay.
You clamp it up, and the best thing to do is the
I get
motion.
it.
Yeah, Daryl and Deborah
The
came down to my
motion that
office
you're
and
going to
visited.
do
They did.
Yeah.
is to line
Is
it
it
up.
one time? Is it a one or a 2-time event now?
We've
One
tried
side of
before,
it's
but you weren't there.
straight.
We
Yeah.
tried one time you weren't there,
You're-
then we tried
And the
one
other
time.
side's got a
Taking
little
Zoe
spot
Hospital.
that sticks out about that
Joplin
much.
to
You
the
gotta
doctor or
kind of go
something.
around that.
I know I had to go home and keep Joplin for a while
Oh,
because she went.
Yeah.
She had an appointment.
You're welcome to.
Morning, Wendy.
Other than that, it's the height.
Glad to see y'all here.
Good to be here.
Doyle is making his second appearance.
I know, it's great to have Doyle here.
Well, and to come early.
Okay.
With
Yeah.
the middle, you can set it
I know, I think,
Yep.
especially this morning, it being so cloudy and rainy,
it's not
and
your whole hand.
hard morning to get started.
set yourself.
I got started pretty easy.
Now, John said that it's
Well, I
going to
was
start
thinking about
promptly at
me. I
8:30.
don't know if it'd be,
John said that?
Yeah, he's got it set on
Do you need
auto.
one?
Oh,
Well, he's
set it on an
It's
auto.
over in
I don't know if, we should,
Yeah.
if I should
Or
hit it on.
set on an auto
Watch
timer.
a couple
Oh, is it?
videos
Okay.
Would you pass those Kleenexes, please?
See if they go all the way down
Thank you.
and part way down.
I just
and over.
seem to be dripping up
More
here.
than one pass. To me, it seems like the
Kleenex.
top of that is-
How's your week?
I just use a dirty X.
It's the humidity.
Why didn't you use a dirty X?
Yeah, I don't ever use a clean
Glad to have
X.
her behind
You
you.
don't?
Dirty X.
Well, I don't.
I mean, the
Do
metal
these new
ones,
hours gonna
I
work
don't
for
seem
you?
to be able to control this one,
the metal ones, they take and drill a whole bunch.
but I keep making a mess here.
A whole bunch.
Is it, shall we say?
Okay, we've got 50 seconds.
Does it like blink or something so that you know that it's on?
50 or
Didn't say
50.
that.
I'm on, this keeps the time and he's got that keeps time, so we should be in sync.
I know, but does it
Bitty.
give you some sort of blink over there from the,
It's 30 now.
Cause sometimes you just need 650.
Yeah, 650.
Hundred.
Oh,
100,
that'll be
100.
exciting.
With a
H-U-N-E-R-T.
T.
100.
Children's books and,
I understand. What he's
my
got.
own version, my own,
dark.
creation of action figures.
Oh, wow. Could be nice.
uh-oh. Don't misbehave, just stay there and
The way
behave.
I'm gonna,
Behave.
I'm gonna try to.
3, 2, 1.
It says
3,
live.
2,
Live. Okay,
You're already on.
Play with it for like.
we're on the air.
Or you can paint it online. So try to keep kids off.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wonder where Miss Zoe is.
Miss Zoe's
In the kitchen.
in the kitchen.
There was something happening in there that she needs to take care of, not serious.
No,
Yeah,
if it wasn't
Kitchen.
Is the
serious.
camera
in the
pointing
kitchen
towards
with
you?
Dinah.
Is the camera pointing towards you?
I have no idea.
It is.
Yes.
Should have got it up.
Okay. Looks like it's looking off that way,
Well, it always is high.
right?
It's high.
Well,
Well, we better get started so we can finish on time. We're already a minute late.
uh-oh.
Okay. Lamentations 3:41. Let us lift our hearts and hands to God in heaven. Why do we lift our hearts and hands to God in heaven?
Worship and praise.
Right. He is our worship and
Recognize-
praise, right?
Yes, recognizing Him as.
Well, I was going to start, instead of going right into the blessing, I was going to do this little deal of the tribes, the count before and the count after. The first, when they entered the wilderness, they did a count, and then they did a count when they, after all the machinations of Baal Peor and all that.
Machinations.
Machinations. That's
Big word.
yes. Anyway,
Some of them grew and some of them shrunk.
so before there was 603, 550, and after, when they're getting ready to go in the land, there's 601, 730. So, who were the winners and losers? Well, I have got it
Uh-oh, he's already.
lined out for you here.
Yes, you.
You see them all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have Reuben, Simeon, Gad, Ephraim, and Naphtali. All were the big losers.
Simeon
So we're-
was the crown
will,
loser, right?
We'll get them all bunched together. See how I moved them all up.
I know, it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's magic stuff. So anyway, the biggest loser was Simeon. Y'all see that?
Yes,
How many did he lose?
half of himself, more than half of himself.
Right.
37,100. 37,100. He went from 59.3 to 22.2. And what's unique about Ephraim and Naphtali? They both lost 8,000 exactly.
Wow.
So anyway, total they lost 61,020, and the other tribes gained 59,200.
Almost even.
Almost even. The difference of 1,820. I don't know if those numbers mean anything, but I just thought they were unusual.
They're just big numbers. Big numbers.
Big numbers, yeah. Okay, well join me in saying the blessing. Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who sanctifies us with thy commandments, and commanded us to engross ourselves in the words of the Torah. And in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'asok b'divrei Torah. Okay. So why do we say b'mitzvotav? What is b'mitzvotav there?
Commandments.
Yeah, sanctification. It says b'mitzvotav sanctifies us with thy commandments. Bitzivano is thy commandments. So b'mitzvotav is from, Kedeshano is from kadosh, which means set apart. So he sets us apart with his commandments and commands us to engross ourselves. And what does lay, soak, and engross? What does that mean?
We have time to study.
Hmm?
We have time to study and walk them out.
Well, engross is kind of like it's instead of using the word to study God's word and all that, it means to apply it in your life. Read it and apply it in your life. Walk it out. Because not everyone has time to
In-depth study.
do an in-depth study. That's right. Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, we're here at Pincus. Is that the way you say that?
Pincus.
Pincus? Phineas. Yes. Pincus.
It's like stained glass Israel.
Yeah, that's kind of a unique Israel, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And what's down at the bottom where it's got the pink? That's Judah. Kind of looks like a heart, doesn't it? I thought it.
With a swimming pool in it.
Yeah.
This is from a pool.
What's the green represent?
And I mean,
To me, it looks a little more like a lung.
Yeah, well, you can't have that kind. The green is Simeon. That's the different colors for the tribes.
So,
And what happened to Simeon?
got absorbed.
They kind of just disappeared, didn't they?
so did Dan.
Hmm?
So did Dan.
Dan? I don't know. I thought that's where what's it called in the Netherlands?
Denmark.
Yeah, the Danites, the Danube. The tribe of Dan is that's where they went. I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's not true.
I think there's some merit to it.
You think so? Okay.
Not there in the
So, does anybody know what Pincus is all about?
Well,
Zealous.
he did a very righteous
Transferring
act.
power.
Righteous indignation.
Righteous indignation.
Right, second.
Zealous for God.
Well, it starts out, the
Right,
zeal of
jealous.
Pincus, and then he takes another census, and we just compared that to the previous census.
And the daughters.
And the daughters of Zelophehad, and then Joshua's appointment as the new leader, and then the rest of it is all about sacrifices. So why are we here? Why are we here? Why is there something rather than nothing?
Because God wanted it.
God's pleasure.
Hmm?
Because the word of God spoke it into existence.
Correct. I mean, we're here because God created us. I mean, that's the, what is it they call it? The kalam. The reason is that if something exists, there has to be a cause. Okay.
Well, it's like Yeshua's.
Yeah. So if the universe is here, it was caused by something. It didn't just happen. I mean, things just don't happen.
Nothing exploded.
And so whoever created the universe had to be outside the universe.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be, what do you call it?
Pre-existent.
Pre-existent, and all-powerful, and all-knowing.
Omnipotent.
Omnipotent, that's right. So, does that stand to reason?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's for us.
That
Happens
For
to be a
some
fact.
people, it
happens to be a fact, that's right. So, is there order in nature?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does order come naturally?
No.
No.
Chaos is natural.
Chaos.
What's really interesting, if you just go down here to Emerald Boulevard, where it curves and goes in front of the hospital and so forth and goes on around, there's a Texas A&M Ag Research Facility that is right there. And up until just a year or so ago, that building was occupied, but they built a new building and moved. And that building has been sitting there for about a year, vacant. Yeah, go by and look at it after a year. Nobody in it.
Yeah, it starts.
It looks like it's been there for 1,000 years. I mean, it's just deteriorating, sitting there. I mean, but that's the way of
No
nature.
life in it.
No life in it. That's right. There's no life in it. Guy's been looking at my notes.
So,
It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary, isn't
It
it?
is, I tell you what.
Maybe we've been around it too
filled
much.
and empty.
Yeah.
We need
That's
to-
kind of
Don't-
scary too.
Don't even say that.
We need to find a new Paul.
To revisit that, okay. Moving right along.
So, Paul,
Moving on.
are you trying to say that if there's no life, that nature tends to take over and fulfill?
I'm
life?
thinking that entropy takes over. Things just
Yeah,
degenerate. They go
nature
back
is life.
to nothing.
Turn from dust to dust.
I mean, it's like in the scripture when it says, when you learn wisdom, he says, I went by a guy's vineyard and the wall was broken down and, there were weeds everywhere. And he said, I learned a lesson. He said, a little sleep, a little extra time in bed. You're not up taking care of things, they fall apart. But it's life that keeps things going. I mean, it's just the way it is. Okay, number one, Numbers 25:10 through 26:4. Now I'll just read it. And the Lord said to Moshe, Pincus, the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the people of Israel, in that he was jealous with my jealousy among them, so that I did not consume the people of Israel in my jealousy. Therefore, behold, I give to him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and to his descendants after him the covenant of a perpetual priesthood, because he was jealous for his God and made atonement for the people of Israel. The name of the slain man of Israel who was killed in the with the Midianite woman was Zimri, the son of Salu, chief of a father's house belonging to the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur, who was the tribal head of a father's house in Midian. And the Lord spoke to Moshe, saying, Harass the Midianites and strike them down, for they have harassed you with their wiles, with which they beguiled you in the manner of Peor, in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of the chief of Midian, their sister, who was killed on the day of the plague on account of Peor. After the plague, the Lord said to Moshe and to Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, take a census of all the congregation of the people of Israel, from 20 years old and upward, by their fathers' houses, all in Israel who are able to go to war. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, take a census of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moshe. The people of Israel who came out of the land of Egypt were. That's supposed to be suspenseful, were. We have to go to it.
Colon there.
Okay. So what was Pinchas' full name? What was his full name? Pinchas ben Eleazar ben Aharon HaKohen. Right? It was Pinchas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the Cohen, the priest. Okay. It's interesting. Aaron, what does that mean in Hebrew? Light bringer. And Eleazar, God has helped. And what's Pinchas mean? Mouth of brass. Now, what would be a mouth of brass mean?
Means you wouldn't want to punch him in the chops.
Or he makes a lot of noise.
It's kind of like he has a fixed attitude. When you set your jaw, he says his jaw was set. Well, his jaw is brass. It's really set. And what does the word priest mean? You have any idea what literally the word priest means? The one who officiates. He's the one in charge. He's
The boss.
Yeah. And it's not only it's translated different ways. It's translated as chief ruler, to own, priest, prince, principal, and officer.
Prince?
Hmm?
Sar. I did too.
Principal and prince. Mm-hmm. So, God said that Pinchas turned his wrath away from the people. What did Pinchas do, and who were the main characters? What did he do?
Ran a spear through.
Zimri
Zimri and Cos.
Where they shouldn't have.
Midianite woman and
And doing what they should not have been doing.
They were acting improperly in front of the whole camp.
That's right.
Acting improperly. That's a nice way of saying it, isn't it?
Euphemism.
Euphemism. They're doing what they should not be doing. Why did God bless Pinchas with a covenant of peace?
because he turned back his wrath.
Because he was zealous for God. God's
Yeah.
ways.
Well, what if you went in and killed someone of another tribe? If you kill somebody, what does the men of the other tribe do?
Kill you.
They kill you. In other words, if they thought it was you went in and murdered him without cause, then they say we have the right to kill him and bring him to trial, find out what we're going to do. And God said, no, I've given him my covenant of peace. You leave him alone.
So would that be like he's the first, he would have been the first person to have to escape to one of the
Well,
cities of...
Yeah, there wasn't any cities
Or-
of refuge
yeah.
at that time.
I'm saying, because there weren't, God said, my covenant of peace is on.
Mm-hmm. So what did God tell Moses regarding the Midianites and why?
Kill him.
Wait a minute.
He
Destroy
told them
them.
to smite the Midianites. What does smite mean?
Strike them.
Strike them? Didn't say destroy them. He said you
Take
need
them down a peg or two.
Yeah, take them down a little bit. Why didn't he say wipe them out?
Because they were related.
Yeah.
Hmm?
They're related by marriage.
Well, but also if you look into the future, where did Ruth?
Ruth came from
Ruth
there.
came from.
Moab, yeah, she was a Moabite. If both the Moabites, Balak, and the Midianites, Balaam, sought to harm Israel, why did God command only the Midianites to be destroyed?
Say again?
Were they the only ones that harassed them with their wiles?
He's right.
Hmm?
He's right.
What is that?
Or were they the only ones that infiltrated,
Sent the
harassed them
women
with
in.
their wiles?
Well, yeah, that's the whole problem is that they came in and said, well, we can't curse them, we can't do this, but we can get to them through their flesh. And
Thanks to
that's
your-
is that everybody's
Yep.
fault,
Oh,
failing?
yeah.
It is.
You know, that was when I was a teenager growing up, that was the mantra of the day. If it feels good, do it.
Still the mantra of today.
Well, I don't know about today. I mean, I'm not a teenager
You
anymore.
want it to do it. Not today.
Not for you.
Been a couple of years since I was a teenager.
A couple.
Couple, yeah.
To quote a female pastor I read, something about searching for something else to deny yourself of the devil speaking.
Uh-huh.
Another euphemism.
And
So-
Everywhere, they're everywhere.
So God commanded two people to take a census. Who were they, and who was to be counted?
I don't remember the people, but it was supposed to be everybody from 20 up.
Well, it was Moses and Eleazar were to count everyone over 20 by tribe. So why over 20? 20 and over,
old enough to go to war.
right? They had to be able to go to war. And so what was the reason for the census?
So getting ready to go in.
To keep
They
counting
count.
people that they lost.
Hmm?
To see their army, the strength of their army.
Well, the strength of their army, but what else? When they went in and took the land, what were they going to do?
Divide up the
Divide it up. And how were they dividing it
by
up?
tribes.
By the bigger tribe got the biggest portion, and the smaller tribe got the smaller portion. Right?
Yeah.
But it was also by lot.
My lot.
So it didn't necessarily have to be the bigger tribe got the bigger land, did it? If the lot fell to them.
To a small one.
Yeah. So if you looked at that picture that I showed at the front, how big was Ephraim? It's one of the bigger allotments, but he was the smallest. He lost all of his. I mean, he lost a lot, and he wasn't a big tribe when he went into the land, but he was a big tribe later.
And he was
Isn't
blessed
it?
with the right hand.
Hmm?
He was blessed with the right hand.
Yeah, he was blessed with the right hand.
Because of his father Joseph.
Okay, we're going to read number 2 and number 3. You want to read number 2, Sharon?
You got all those names in there, don't you?
I know it's got the
Yeah.
good names in there.
Okay.
It's fun.
Water.
Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, the sons of Reuben of Hanok, the clan of the Hanokites of Palu, the clan of the Paluites, of Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the clan of the Carmites. These are the clans of the Reubenites, and those listed were 43,730. And the sons of Palu, Eliab. The sons of Eliab, Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. These are the Dathan and Abiram chosen from the congregation who contended against Moses and Aharon in the company of Korah, when they contended against the Lord, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah. When that company died, when the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a warning. But the sons of Korah did not die. The sons of Simeon, according to their clans, of Nemuel, the clan of the Nemuelites, Of Jamin, the clan of the Jaminites. Of Jachin, the clan of the Jachinites. Of Zerah, the clan of the Zerabites. Of Shaul, the clan of the Shaulites. These are the clans of the Simeonites, 22,200. The sons of God, according to their clans: of Zephon, the clan of the Zephonites. Of Haggai, the clan of the Haggites. Of Shuni, the clan of the Shunites. Of Ozni, the clan of the Oznites. Of Eri, the clan of the Erites. Of Arod, the clan of the Arodites. Of Areli, the clan of the Arelites. These are the clans of the sons of God as they were listed, 40,500. The sons of Judah were and Onan, and and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah, according to their clans, were: of Shelah, the clan of the Shalonites. Of Perez, the clan of the Perizzites. Of Zerah, the clan of the Zerahites. And the sons of Perez were: of Hezron, the clans of the Hezronites. Of Hamul, the son of the Hamulites. These are the clans of Judah as they were listed, 76,500. The sons of Issachar, according to their clans: of Tola, the clan of the Tolaites. Of Puvah, the clans of the Punites. Of Jashub, the clan of the Joshubites. Of Shimron, the clan of the Shimronites. These are the clans of Issachar as they were listed, 64,300. The sons of Zebulun, according to their clans: of Sered, the clan of the Seredites. Of Elon, the clan of the Elonites. Of Jahel, the clan of the Jahelites. These are the clans of the Zebulunites as they were listed, 60,500. The sons of Joseph, according to their clans: Manasseh and Ephraim. The sons of Manasseh: of Machir, the clan of the Machirites. And Machir was the father of Gilead. Of Gilead, the clan of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead. Of Iezer, the clan of the Iezerites. Of Helek, the clan of the Helekites. And of Asriel, the clan of the Asrielites. And of Shechem, the clan of the Shechemites. And of Shemida, the clan of the Shemidaites. And of Hepher, the clan of the Hepherites. Now Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, had no sons, but daughters. And the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the clans of Manasseh, and those listed were 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim according to their clans: of Shuthelah, the son of the Shuthelahites. Of Becher, the clan of the Becherites. Of Tahan, the clan of the Tahanites. And these are the sons of Shuthelah, of Aaron, the clan of the Aaronites. These are the clans of the sons of Ephraim as they were listed, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph according to their clans. The sons of Benjamin according to their clans: of Bela, the clan of Belaites. Of Ashbel, the clan of the Ashbelites. Of Ahiram, the clan of the Ahiramites. Of Shephufam, the clan of the Shuphamites. Of Hupham, the clan of the Huphamites. And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman. Of Ard, the clan of the Ardites. Of Naaman, the son of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin according to their clans, and those listed were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan according to their clans: of Shuma, the clan of the Shuhamites. These are the clans of Dan according to their clans. All the clans of the Shuhamites as they were listed were 64,400. The sons of Asher according to their clans: of Imnah, the clan of the Imnites. Of Ishvi, the clan of the Ishvites. Of Berea, the clan of the Bereites. Bereites? Two I's in together is weird, isn't it? Of the sons of Berea, of Heber, the clan of the Heberites. Of Malchiel, the clan of the Malchielites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the clans of the sons of Asher as they were listed, 53,400. The sons of Naphtali, according to their clans, of Jaziel, the clan of Jazelites, of Guni, the clan of the Gunites, of Jazer, the clan of the Jezerites, of Shalem, the clan of the Shalemites. These are the clans of Naphtali according to their clans, and those listed were 45,400. This was the list of the people of Israel, 601,730.
Okay, we're going to read the next one, but I just have a comment. Of all the tribes, there was Zelophehad, and there was
Asher was that where Sarah was?
yeah, it was the daughter of Asher was Sarah. So why was her name mentioned? Anybody know?
Must have been important.
Was it maybe her father didn't have any sons?
Maybe.
I mean, the only other females mentioned are Zelophehad.
Are the only children of.
Their father only had daughters.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe her father only had her.
And that was the daughter of Asher.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, the daughter of Asher was Sarah. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting when I was reading it. I thought, why is her name mentioned? No other females were mentioned.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Is it gonna go?
I think you owe me.
I do owe you a lot. The Lord spoke to Moshe, saying, Among these the land shall be divided for inheritance according to the number of names. To a large tribe you shall give a large inheritance, and to a small tribe you shall give a small inheritance. Every tribe shall be given its inheritance in proportion to its list, but the land shall be divided by lot. According to the names of the tribes of their fathers they shall inherit. Their inheritance shall be divided according to the lot between the larger and the smaller. This was the first list of the Levites according to their clans. Of Gershon, the clan of the Gershonites. Of Kohath, the clan of the Kohathites. Of Merari, the clan of the Merarites. These are the clans of Levi, the clan of the Lebanites, the clan of the Hebronites, the clan of the Mahalites, the clan of the Mushites, the clan of the Korahites. And Kohath was the father of Amram. The name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Egypt. And she bore to Amram Aaron and Moses and Miriam, their sister. And to Aaron were born Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord. And those listed were 23,000, every male from a month old and upward, for they were not listed among the people of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the people of Israel. These were those listed by Moshe and Eleazar the priest, who listed the people of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. But among these was not one of those listed by Moses and Aaron the priest, who had listed the people of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said of them, They shall die in the wilderness. Not one of them was left except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Yeshua, the son of Nun. Then drew near the daughters of Zelophehad, the daughter of Hepher, the son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, from the clans of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. The name of his daughters were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest and before the chiefs and all the congregation at the entrance of the tent of meeting, saying, Our father died in the wilderness. He was not among the company of those who gathered themselves together in the Lord in the company of Korah, but died of his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father be taken away from his clan because he had no son? Give us a possession among our father's brothers. Moshe brought their case before the Lord. So we already discussed that the allotment was for each tribe was decided by lot, right? And we know that the Levites weren't given any land, but they were given cities of refuge and the land around those cities, right? So what was remarkable about the tribe of Simeon in the census?
Remarkable.
Yeah, what was remarkable about it?
How small it was now.
Yeah, the first census was 59.3, and the ending census was 29.2. Apparently, many men from the tribe followed the example of the tribal leader Zimri and were killed during the plague. Think that's true?
Yes.
And so, why is it important for Zelophehad, and why is he important? Who was he, and why is he important?
Well, the sages say
The sages?
that he was the man gathering wood who was stoned because he gathered wood on the Sabbath.
You think
I don't know. That's what the sages say.
The
I
sages
just threw
say
that in just for you.
he had all the daughters and threw it in?
So,
Maybe his daughters drove into it.
Well, it said he
but his
died.
daughters appeared to have been like righteous women. They appear to have been, you know, they didn't follow after their father if that was true of him.
Well, so they appeared before Moses and Eleazar and said, hey, our father didn't have any sons. He's got daughters. Why should his name be struck from Israel? Because he's not
that was quite a feat just to appear before
right. I mean,
Moses and Aaron.
right. But what was it bringing up? What was it bringing up? It was bringing up something that wasn't specifically
addressed
in the law, and they were saying, "Hey,
what about us?
What about us?"
And maybe
the Lord
Sarah.
He said, "They're right." God said, "They're right. They should have an inheritance." Okay. What's the follow-on that happened later? When the men of their tribe said, hey, what if one of those women marries outside the tribe? Then they're going to take part of our land because it's going to come. And what was the answer?
They can't marry outside.
Can't marry outside the tribe. You know, if that happens, you have to stay within your tribe.
I guess if they decided to marry outside, they'd have to forfeit that inheritance.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah. Well, the other people in their tribe or their relatives would have to take it.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to take it outside the tribe.
So, does that? It's kind of like, what's it saying to us? Is it saying that God's law is fixed, or that we need to make accommodation?
God's law is fixed.
God's law is fixed, but there's the greater commandment and the lesser commandment, right? In other words, the commandment is to keep the Shabbat, set it apart, keep it holy. But if you see someone, has fallen in the ditch, his animals fallen in the ditch or something, you go help them out, even if it's Shabbat.
Yeah.
Because that's the higher commandment, is to love your neighbor as yourself, right?
Leave him in the ditch.
Yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying is that you can follow the letter of the law, but not the spirit of the law.
But not when it busts through justice, peace, and mercy.
Right. I mean, the greater commandment always
Wins over.
wins the day, so to speak. Like you say, if it's justice or mercy or whatever, it has to prevail. And so that's what God was saying. Hey, it's just that they said this, so let's do it. So, and it's not something that God didn't intend. He just said, hey, this is right. They're right. if they have no sons, then they should inherit. And that's the way it is today. I mean, a lot of people think that, I guess they have the opinion that the laws of the United States were just some guy sat down and thought them up. But they're not. I mean, all the laws in the United States are based on the Bible. You know, when people became lawyers before there became law schools, like Abraham Lincoln, how did Abraham Lincoln become a lawyer?
He argued real good.
No, if you go back and read his biography, it says he read for the law. Okay, what did he read?
The Bible.
He read Moses, because all of the laws were described in Moses. And then he went and took an exam, a bar exam, based on the law of Moses to become a lawyer. Because you have to argue the law. That's the way it is. That's the way it used to be. But what has happened in the current age?
Men have messed it up.
Me. Me first.
Me first, yeah.
No
Well-
pushing, no shoving, as long as I'm first.
That's right. But what I'm saying is that we have abandoned the law. And the law is becoming man's law.
Yep.
I mean, what's the most, the demarcation point, in my opinion, is the demarcation of where we absolutely abandoned God's law. And when was it?
The 60s.
Not in the 60s.
50.
That was, the 60s were the beginning, but 1972, when they passed Roe versus Wade and started killing babies, that was the time. I mean, the whole world changed at that point. I mean, there was a shift from God's way to man's way. Period.
Paradigm shift.
Yeah, period. Okay, we're ready for el numero cuatro. How are we doing? We got
I don't know.
20 minutes left. We can
got
do
the
it.
timer.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Are we on number 4?
Yeah, we
Yes.
El numero cuatro? Yeah. And the Lord said to Moshe, the daughters of Zelophehad are right. You shall give them possession and inheritance among the father's brothers, and transfer the inheritance to their father, from their father to them. And you shall speak to the people of Israel, saying, if a man dies and has no son, then you shall transfer his inheritance to his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. And if there is no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to the nearest kinsman of his clan, and he shall possess it. And it shall be for the people of Israel a statute and a rule, as the Lord commanded Moshe. And the Lord said to Moshe, go up into this mountain of Abiram, and see the land that I have given to the people of Israel. When you have seen it, you shall be gathered to your people as your brother Aaron was, because you rebelled against my word in the wilderness of Sin, when the congregation quarreled, failing to uphold me as holy at the waters before their eyes. These are the waters of Meribah, Kadesh, in the wilderness of Sin. Moshe spoke to the Lord, saying, let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation, who shall go out before them and come in before them, and who shall lead them and bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord may not be as sheep that have no shepherd. So the Lord said to Moshe, take Joshua the son of Nun, a man of whom is the Spirit, and lay your hand on him, and make him stand before Eleazar the priest and all the congregation, and you shall commission him in their sight. You shall invest him with some of your authority, that all the congregation of the people of Israel may obey. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, and you shall inquire for him by the judgment of the Urim before the Lord. At his word they shall go out, and at his word they shall come in, both he and the people of Israel with him, the whole congregation. And Moshe did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and made him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole congregation. And he laid his hands on him and commissioned him as the Lord had directed through Moshe. Okay. From which mountain did Moses go? It says Mount Abiram, which is also called Nebo. But what does Abiram mean? Do y'all know what Abiram means? It's from the same root as the word Hebrew. Abiram, Ibrahim is Hebrew in Israel. And yeah, it means crossover. So those lands, those mountains were called the mountains of crossing over. So it's kind of like saying you can't cross over. You can't be a Hebrew if you did this. Say all those that died in the wilderness couldn't be the ones that crossed over. Mm-hmm. That's kind of sad. What?
So is this earlier part where the kinsman redeemer comes in? Where it was talking about if you didn't have any sons and if you didn't have this and if you...
No, that's just inheritance.
Okay.
That's just inheritance.
Well, didn't the kinsman redeemer have to do with the inheritance?
Well, the kinsman redeemer is where you don't have anything, and your kinsman, it's a woman that doesn't have anything. It's not that she's inheriting. She has land, but she can't afford to do anything. She doesn't have a man to protect her.
Gotcha.
And so the kinsman redeemer is someone that takes the land and preserves the family.
Okay.
That's the redeemer. I mean, that's what Jesus does, is he comes in and takes our lives and redeems us. He saves us. And that's Ruth and Naomi. I mean, they were two women alone. They had land, but they couldn't redeem it. It had been sold, and they were at the mercy of their relatives. And Boaz came in and said, I will be the redeemer. But what did he say? So there's someone that stands before me that's a closer relative. I'll have to go to him and make sure he doesn't want to redeem you.
Yeah.
And so
I misunderstood it.
it's okay.
Do push-ups.
You first?
Okay.
Okay, number 5. Do I have a volunteer for number 5? I know number 6 is...
I'll do number 5.
Okay, good deal.
The Lord spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the people of Israel, and say to them, My offering, my food for my food offerings, my pleasing aroma, you shall be careful to offer to me at its appointed time. And you shall say to them, This is the food offering that you shall offer to the Lord, 2 male lambs a year old without blemish, day by day as a regular offering. The one lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at twilight. Also 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of hin of beaten oil. It is a regular burnt offering which was obtained at Mount Sinai for a pleasing aroma of food offered to Elohim. The drink offering shall be 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. In the holy place you shall pour out a drink offering of strong drink to the Lord. The other lamb you shall offer at twilight, like the grain offering of the morning, and like its drink offering you shall offer it as a food offering with a pleasing aroma to Yahweh. On the Shabbat, 2 male lambs a year old without blemish, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a grain offering mixed with oil, and its drink offering. This is the burnt offering of every Shabbat, besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. At the beginnings of your months you shall offer a burnt offering to Yahweh, 2 bulls from the herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish, also 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a grain offering mixed with oil for each bull, and 2/10 of fine flour for a grain offering mixed with oil. With a 1 ram and 1/10 of the fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for every lamb. For a burnt offering with a pleasing aroma of food offered to Yahweh. These drink offerings shall be 1/2 hin of wine for a bull, 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. This is the burnt offering of each month throughout the months of the year. Also, one male goat for a sin offering to Yahweh. It shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering.
Number 6. Hmm?
It's Rob.
Hmm?
Rob,
Shall I?
wanting to read.
Oh, go ahead.
On the 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover, and on the 15th day of this month is a feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work, but offer a food offering, a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 bulls from the herd, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old. See that they are without blemish. Also their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah shall you offer for a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. 1/10 shall you offer for each of the 7 lambs, also 1 male goat for a sin offering, to make atonement for you. You shall offer these besides the burnt offering of the morning, which is for a regular burnt offering. In the same way you shall offer daily for 7 days the food of a food offering, with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. And on the 7th day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. On the day of the first fruits, when you offer a grain offering of new grain to the Lord at all your feasts of weeks, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work, but offer a burnt offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 2 bulls from the herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old, and their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for 1 ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, with 1 male goat to make atonement for you. Besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, you shall offer them and their drink offering. See that they are without blemish. On the first day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. It is a day for you to blow the trumpets, and you shall offer a burnt offering for a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish. Also their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, and 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, with 1 male goat for a sin offering to make atonement for you. Besides the burnt offering of a new moon and its grain offering, and the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, and their drink offering, according to the rule for them, for a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. On the 10th day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation and afflict yourselves. You shall do no work, but you shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old. See that they are without blemish, and their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for a bull, 2/10 for 1 ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the sin offering of atonement, and a regular burnt offering and its grain offering and their drink offerings.
Thank you. On the 15th day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work, and you shall keep a feast to the Lord 7 days. And you shall offer a burnt offering, a food offering, with a pleasing aroma to the Lord, 13 bulls from the herd, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old. They shall be without blemish, and their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and the 10th for each of the 14 lambs. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 2nd day 12 bulls from the herd, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, and with grain offering and the drink offerings of the bulls, for the rams and for the lambs in the prescribed quantities. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and their drink offerings. On the 3rd day 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, the rams, and for the lambs in the prescribed quantities. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and its drink offering. On the 4th day 10 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, the rams, and the lambs and the prescribed quantities. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 5th day, 9 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, the rams, and the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and its drink offering. On the 6th day, 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offering for the bulls and the rams, for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offerings. On the 7th day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs, a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 8th day you shall have a solemn assembly. You shall not do any ordinary work, but you shall offer a burnt offering with a food offering, with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs, a year old without blemish, and the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs, and in the prescribed quantities. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, with its grain offering and its drink offering. These you shall offer to the Lord at your appointed feast, in addition to your vow offerings and your free will offerings, for your burnt offerings and for your grain offerings and your drink offerings and for your peace offerings. So Moses told the people of Israel everything just as the Lord commanded Moses. Moshe spoke to the heads of the tribes of the people of Israel, saying, "This is what the Lord has commanded." Okay, so we have all these offerings. Can you list all the appointed times? I got them here for you, so we can list them. We got the daily, we got the weekly, and we got the monthly. So every day there's a sacrifice in the morning and a sacrifice in the evening. On Shabbat, there's a sacrifice in the morning, then there's the weekly Shabbat sacrifice, and then there's the evening sacrifice. And then monthly, at the new moon, there's a morning offering, then there's the monthly offering, and then there's the ending offering for the day. And if the month is on a Shabbat, then you have the morning offering, the Shabbat offering, the new moon offering, and then the ending offering, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then you got the seasonal. We have the Passover, unleavened bread, spring, first fruits, summer, Shavuot. So we got 3 sets there. The spring offerings, which is Passover, unleavened bread, and first fruits. Then we have the summer offering, it's Shavuot. And then the fall we have trumpets, atonement, and Sukkot, tabernacles. And so what's the defining characteristics for all of those sacrifices?
You don't do any work.
No. The defining characteristic is that the daily offering comes before all of them, and it's after all of them. So there's 1 male lamb, a year old, without defect. And if you notice in there, it says, I think 3 times, doesn't say it every time, but 3 times it says, and you will make sure that it is without blemish.
Mm-hmm.
You will make sure it is without blemish. So the daily sacrifice encompasses every sacrifice. It's the daily sacrifice. So what does that mean? What's that a picture of?
Take up your cross daily.
Take up your cross daily. Follow me. Remember who you are. I'm the one that has died for you every day. I didn't die once. I died every day for you. I have taken that. So it's to remember that the sacrifice has happened. Okay? We can't forget it. You understand what I mean? We can't forget what God has done. He's telling the people, don't forget, I brought you out of Egypt. I killed the firstborn of Egypt so you could escape. Okay? That's the same thing that Yeshua did. He said, I gave myself for you so that you can have life. Okay? So it's not, the appointed times are when God's going to do things. I mean, he says, do this daily. But then there's weekly things you do, there's monthly things you do, and then I have these special set apart times when I'm going to do things that are spectacular. Okay? But you have to remember this thing every day. So what's it harder to do? It's the everyday things. Those are the hard things. I mean, the everyday things, getting up and going to work. I mean, the proverb that I quoted.
That is rough.
Well, that's what I mean. The proverb that I quoted a while ago, it says, I saw the guy's wall broken down and his weeds growing in his field. And I said, just a little bit of laying around, folding of the hands, and you're overtaken. Well, God's saying, if you remember these things, if you remember that I sacrifice for you every day, then you won't forget. But if you just say, well, I don't have to do that today, or I'm going to sleep in today, then everything goes by the way, because then you have abandoned what God has said. So it's an everything, it's an everyday deal. So the appointed, we have, what are the daily things? We depend on God daily. We remember what God did and set us apart. And the purpose of the sacrifice. What is the purpose of the sacrifice? Every day is a new beginning. Every day, new beginning. It says the seasonal. What are the seasonal? The Passover, Shavuot, and Tabernacles. What are those? Okay. It's a representation of salvation and its fruit, the Spirit that fulfills all things, and God's reign and judgment. In other words, salvation. He had to come, the lamb had to be killed, the firstborn had to die for salvation. The Spirit fulfills all things. So the giving of the Spirit, in other words, count the days at the Omer, bring your first fruits, because that's the fruit of God is what gives you life. And then God's reign and judgment. Why is that important? It starts with his return, his judgment, and then his reign. So why is it his return, his judgment, and then his reign?
Because he's got to separate the chaff from the wheat.
Wheat and the tares.
Wheat and the tares. Yeah, I mean, it's the same way. Before they entered the land, what happened? All the ones that were the first generation, all the men died. And then what happened?
They circumcised them.
No, they met in the plains of Moab, and there was a little cleaning job going on. And then they went in. So what does God do? He disciplines those that he loves. He filters out the ones that he doesn't want, that haven't, what do you call it, made the cut?
They weren't called.
Well, they were called. They didn't
refuse.
They refused the call. It says in Zechariah 14:5-9, then the Lord my God will come, and all the holy ones with him. On that day there shall be no light, cold, or frost, and there shall be a unique day, which is known to the Lord, neither day nor night, but at evening time there shall be light. On that day living waters shall flow out of Jerusalem, half of them to the eastern sea, and half of them to the western sea. It shall continue in summer and in winter, and the Lord will be king over all the earth. On that day the Lord will be one, and his name one. So, what's the eastern sea and the western sea?
I have no idea.
See, we know the one is the Mediterranean, right? Well, what's the other one? What's the other direction? The Dead Sea. What does it say about the Dead Sea? It says the Dead Sea will have fish, and it will be a living water. It's dead now. But when the Messiah comes, it comes to life. His water flows into the dead.
I heard it's starting to come back to life.
Hmm?
I heard it's starting to come back to life.
I don't think so. No. It won't come back to life until God comes and puts life in it. Okay, we've got, oh, it's time to leave. It's after 9:30. I had all these discussion topics. What's zeal mean?
Jealous.
Passion. Yeah. Each of us is responsible for how we choose to walk the road of life. We have all a particular zeal, desire, passion regarding what we deem to be our ultimate concern. But the question is how is the zeal directed? In other words, a lot of people have a zeal for God as long as it agrees with what they think.
As long as it's convenient for their life.
Yeah, convenient, yeah. How does our passion take us down the road of life? You know, a lot of people's desire is directed by their passion. What's the idea of that reason is often the slave of our passion? In other words, we abandon reason because we're too passionate for something.
We want.
Yeah.
We want that.
Well, I mean, when someone says we don't have to keep the commandments because that's been fulfilled, we don't have to do that. What does that mean?
Means they don't want to do it.
They don't want to.
They don't want to do it. Yeah, and they're passionate about it. They will go to their death saying that you are keeping God's law for salvation.
To rely on.
Yeah. When you're not keeping God's law for salvation, you're keeping God's law because He commanded you do it. He says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments.
Yep.
And so keeping God's commandments is showing your love for Him, not your devotion to the law. It's your devotion to God. It's the same way in any family. I mean, if you love your parents passionately, you do what they tell you to. I mean, that's just if they're godly people. Anyway, I had a bunch of stuff here. I guess we'll abandon it until next year. Okay. Just as a final note, how does Pincus and Joshua foreshadow Yeshua? Just y'all think about Pincus and Joshua.
They were both zealous for God. They were both
Right. Pincus was
servants.
like Jesus clearing the temple,
Yeah, it was.
and Joshua is like Jesus because he takes us to the promised land. He leads us in. He's the leader. Okay, I get rid of that. We'll go right into Calvin. Here, take a picture of me, okay? Sure. I'll sit holding this big book, looking contemplative. Yeah, I like that.
Reminds me of you.
Why do you want a picture like that? Because I want to be like the world. On the off chance I decide to do something responsible with my life, I'll need to establish a fictitious childhood.
Establish a fictitious.
Okay, the reason I put that in is because I think that people have built a fictitious childhood for their faith, which doesn't say anything that's true. Because God is a God that doesn't change, and He says this is the way it is, and this is the way it should be, and that's what we ought to do. We ought to remember that God said it, I believe it, so I'm going to do it. Okay. Next week is Matot, tribes. Okay. Join me in we'll say the blessing real quick. Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who gave us the Torah of truth, Yeshua our Messiah, and set everlasting life in our midst. Blessed art thou, O Lord, giver of the Torah. And in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher le'nu Torah emet Yeshua Meshikenu v'kayi olam netah v'tikenu Baruch atah Adonai notin ha-Torah. Okay. We only have, I'll just do these two because it's quick. Great peace have those who love your law. Nothing can make them stumble. And the way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. Are we stumbling along or are we getting there?
We're walking.
We're walking.
We're walking.
See, I have all these others that we could go through, but
I think Hebrews has a pretty clear one.
what's it?
Now I get
It quotes, it's just a straight quote out of the Old Testament, but I'll send a prophet like me into you from your brothers.
Right.
And those who do not listen to him will be destroyed from the people.
That's right.
So when you don't listen to him, he said, till heaven and earth pass away. And you're like, that's not really what he said.
That's right.
That's not what he means. That can get to be problematic in a hurry.
They can. I like this one right here. It says, and it will be righteousness for us if we are careful to do all the commandments before our Lord our God, as he has commanded us. So, what does it say? It doesn't say it will be salvation for us. It says that it will be righteousness. What is righteousness?
Right standing.
It's right standing. It's set apart. Just means that we're going to do what God tells us to do. Ta-da.
Amen.
Amen. All right.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
I guess we can shimmy on over and see Alvin.
Shimmy.
He'll straighten us out.
Shimmy might straighten us out. This thing will automatically shut itself down.